meeting with Minister Plasterk yesterday on two occasions, one with the Council of Ministers and then later on in the afternoon in a smaller setting with two other ministers, followed by the press briefing yesterday. I also met with the Council of Advice, basically a routine visit. We discussed issues such as the budget. They were brought up to, not brought up to speed, but we exchanged some views on the budget 2016. Of course, when the meeting was planned and the agenda was made, the budget had not yet been presented to Parliament. So the discussion there was not a lengthy one, which was the same with the discussions with Minister Plasterk. We also gave them an update on the electoral reform, specifically, or more importantly, on the issue as far as it pertains to changing of legislation. As you know, they are like on two tracks. There are things that we would need to change legislation, and there are issues that we can go about with making amendments to certain regulations and or policies, and we just need a decision of Parliament or a decision of the Council of Ministers on. But where we need a change in legislation, the Council of Advice would have to play a role as well. So they, just like was the case with the Council of State, would like to be informed as quickly as possible so that they can cooperate as much as they can in order to ensure that the legislation is dealt with urgently. One of the issues that comes up always, and I think the question had been raised here as well, is the concern that you need two-thirds majority to make certain changes. And my answer from day one has always been Parliament doesn't just have a two-thirds majority, Parliament has a three-thirds majority. If all members of Parliament support a legislation aimed at curbing ship jumping, then we have no problem, because it's not an issue of the coalition, it's not an issue of a party, it's not an issue of the government or a specific government, it's an issue that affects governance on St. Martin. The initiative was actually taken by the former government that used Article 59 to dissolve the Parliament, and their reasoning then was, we want to put an end to ship jumping. Interestingly, there is no proposal from them to that effect. There has never been any, other than saying because the government fell, because it lost its majority, because of ship jumpers, then we will hold elections. If we do not adopt legislation, it would mean theoretically that every time a government loses a majority because of a shift in support for that government, we would then dissolve Parliament, have new elections, because we got to punish the ship jumpers. The proposals that are on the table are aimed at curbing that, making it difficult. Just before coming here, I read a commentary, for instance, in one of the papers, an opinion that said, it basically summarized with, let the members of Parliament freely move with their seat wherever they want. Let them jump ship every day if that's their desire. Just make sure that the government that is sworn in after the election stays there for 4 years. Now, it sounds like a very practical solution, but the authors of that proposal really then have no clue as to how government functions, because here the minister just gave an idea of the presentation of the budget 2016, but whether it's 2014, 15, or 16, if that budget, for instance, does not get the support of a majority in Parliament, because there are 15 freelancers, and if it doesn't get a support, the government can't function. If you do not have an approved budget, based on what? are you going to make expenditures? Based on what are you going to pay rents if it was disapproved? Based on what are you going to pay salaries if that is torn down? Based on what are you going to pay subsidies? So the government needs support. So technically, yes, if you have 15 freelancers, free movers in Parliament, it sounds like a nice solution, but if you don't have support from a majority, you are gone the same way. So the government can't stay there for 4 years unless you're telling the government, well, you got to stay there until you find a majority. But as long as they don't find one, they cannot govern.
I received an invitation from Parliament to attend the Central Committee meeting to discuss the budget 2016 starting Monday at 10 a.m. The budget, as mentioned before, was submitted timely. I've also taken the necessary precautions to save time and to expedite things, to forward a copy of it to the CFT at this time, although they normally only get into the act after Parliament has approved the budget. But this will give them some advance time to look at the budget so that their advice could be expedited. The budget is lean and mean. Yet, I think the budget is realistic, and the major task as far as the budget is concerned will not be the meetings in Parliament that we're going to have, and once it's approved, I hope it's going to be approved, but the real task really comes thereafter, to make certain that everyone sticks to the budget and that they don't exceed their allotments. As the budget has been presented, there's a 20 million guilders that will be reserved and hopefully will be there at the end of the budget cycle 2016, because that 20 million is already earmarked to be a payment that has to go to SZV and APS. As you know, we have to make good on the deficits from the past, and each year 20 million has to be paid down on that debt. So this way we're securing the amount that has to be paid in 2016 on the debts to APS and SZV. I've got good hope that in 2016 we will be able to generate extra revenues, which will give us, with a budget change, some room to maneuver. But you got to make it first before you can spend it. And right now, as the budget has been presented, that's the money we have. And if we want to spend more, we have to generate it first. You can't spend what you don't have. You have to get it first and then spend it. And that's the philosophy behind the budget. So I look forward to the discussions in Parliament as it relates to the budget. And steps are also being taken to make certain that expenditures are monitored monthly so that we can detect early if there have been any boundaries that have been passed as far as limitations in the budget is concerned.
Life is a journey full of connections. You're in safe hands even when life starts too soon. You don't have to miss a single beat. When a bad hair day makes you sad, just sharing can bring you joy and more to come. They take the plunge, turn fear into faith, while you capture those beautiful moments. In the game of life, it's family that counts. They'll be there even when you lose. We all have our moments of reflection and hope. And when you feel you're losing everything in life, we're there because there's more to come. When life starts too soon, you don't have to miss a single beat. We're here to connect you and share life. Telcel, when you want.
Need a loan that's quick and easy. Island Finance. Up to 50,000 guineas real easy. Island Finance. For education, a renovation. That's no problem. Yes, it's true. That's not all. They're quick and friendly too. Island Finance. Appliances, vacations, even fix your car. You can depend on Island Finance. Here we go.
This is freedom, this is life. Happiness is all I'm seeking. Carpe diem, I'm seizing every day, not just the weekend. Here's to all the good times that have come to last. Here's to living in the now.
When you can afford what you crave, life just gets so
So
good.
alive and I'm feeling good, so good, so good, so good. Hey, I'm gonna live my life, feeling good, so good, real good, so
KFC, so good for everyone.
Hey, Bob, you're on family vacation. Oh, but your daughter's got the measles. But don't worry about it. With your Be Sure travel insurance, children under 12 are covered for free.
Are you be sure? Be sure.
Yeah, for free. Oh my, what an inventory list, and so unnecessary. But wait, your home contents are all insured by Be Sure. That means that you determine the amount you want to insure. No inventory list, no hassle.
Are you be sure? Be sure.
GEBE has been faithfully serving the communities of St. Martin, powering your home and our economy. Come rain or shine, our qualified team of professionals are working hard 24 hours a day to provide you and your family with safe, reliable electricity and water. We use the latest technologies and test our products daily to maintain the highest international standards. Our friendly staff is always there to assist you, whether in person, over the phone, or online. We are committed to constantly improving our products and services, making them more efficient, effective, and environmentally friendly to serve you better today and our next generation of clients tomorrow. GEBE, powering a brighter future.
Our friend Megawati is here with tips to save you energy. 1. Turn your airco temperature up. 2. Use a ceiling fan instead. 3. Buy energy-saving products. Save some green with NVGEBE.
I'm feeling funny, man. I feel like I'm getting a pain in my chest.
I got this.
You sure?
Yes. It's 30 breaths and 2 compression. Give her air.
Oh, Monique, look here.
No, Fernand. It is not 30 breaths and 2 compressions. It is 30 compressions and 2 breaths. CPR can be done in 3 simple steps. Step 1. Check and call. Step 2, press down or pump. Step 3, blow.
I got it now. It's 30 compression and 2 breaths.
Yes.
Right. CAB.
Our approach to Zika virus, and in particular, our focus is on the breeding grounds for mosquitoes. I'm very happy. You know, last week there was a lot of interest in the press release, and actually over my Facebook account, a lot of people commented. And I just want to give you one example. One of our citizens, Natasha Vanderpool, contacted me via Facebook and notified me that the house next to her house appears to be derelict. I guess it's been repossessed by the bank. There's no occupants in the house. So typical problem. The swimming pool not being properly maintained, about 2-3 feet of water in it, very clearly a mosquito breeding ground. So she contacted me, and I got the address, I got her telephone number, and actually on Sunday went to visit the house and actually to see for myself firsthand what had happened. And her impressions were absolutely correct, and actually she was very proactive. She had already taken kerosene, put it in the swimming pool, so actually at that time I didn't see any more breeding mosquitoes. I did give her some mosquito dunks, which I'll explain a little bit later what they are, but they're a biological tool that people can use for standing water that helps to eliminate breeding grounds for mosquitoes. So it reinforces the discussion that actually in the war against mosquitoes, in our war against the breeding ground for mosquitoes, it's actually the citizens that take the front line on this. So we have opened up our hotline. We also have our website, our email address, surveillance@stmartingov.org, and also via Facebook. So the more information that you can give us, the more specific it is, the easier it is for the department to react. I had a couple emails, for example, that said, Sucker Garden's a problem, but that leaves such a wide area, it makes it much harder for the ministry to be proactive. But also, out of my visit and my discussions with Natasha, what became clear to me is also there's an area that we need to address, properties that are in default. So that means that we're in the process of drafting letters right now to lawyers, banks, real estate offices, and to notaries, that if they are currently managing properties that are not occupied, that they should take special attention to make sure that those properties are not becoming mosquito breeding grounds. As I mentioned to you, one of the things that I gave to Natasha are these. These are called mosquito dunks, and these are biological tools which can be used, they can put in the water, and it interferes with the breeding cycle, the reproduction cycle for mosquitoes. They last for 30 days. They're environmentally friendly. So it's something that citizens can just purchase instead of just waiting for the ministry to react. We encourage the citizens to become active themselves. And I do know that for sure, these are available at ACE. We're starting conversations actually with different hardware stores to make sure that whatever products the ministry deems appropriate to use in the control of mosquito breeding grounds, to make sure that they are stocking up and selling them locally.
Yeah, we will finalize the creation of our investment guide and other promotional material towards informing and facilitating prospective investors. The ministry will also continue its efforts to streamline the various application payments processes by means of further automation of these processes. We already did it with the Economic Affairs Department, where everything is being done online. So whoever applies for business license, within 2 weeks, within a week you have an answer, within 2 weeks you should have your license in hand. I have already signed off over 200 licenses and have another 200 to 300 to sign off on. Most of those licenses were left back by the previous ministers. Why, I did not know, because by not issuing these business licenses, you are holding back the economic growth of the island. So therefore, we have started issuing all of these licenses, and by doing so, we will also receive some income from operation and fees that these businesses pay. Let's see. Okay, the ministry will also focus on promoting and assisting small business development. The amount of 100,000 is being allocated for small and medium-sized enterprises development in 2016. The ministry will also focus on improving the consumer experiences with supporting legislation for establishment of a consumer protection agency. I know the MP Marling has been calling me to Parliament to address this situation. I've been very busy, however. I'm very in favor of this legislations because we have to protect our consumers. And what I'm presently doing is looking at the different legislations that are existing in the other islands, Curacao, Saba Statia, the English islands. During my visit in the Bahamas, I spoke with the ministers of St. Lucia, Grenada, and all of them, and they already passed a legislation to this regard. And what I will do, I'll make an inventory and see how it's being applied there and how, and then we will come up with our own legislation to protect our consumers and visitors to the island. The ministry will continue on its path to create favorable economic climate by making key incentives and decisions. Additionally, with the positive growth of the United States economy, our primary source of market for visitors, with aggressive marketing programs, we will be positioned to turn things around in our tourism product and subsequently our economy. Let's see. Other activities besides the economic situation that I have been engaged with is the marketing of St. Martin. My attendance at the Vakantiebeurs Utrecht 2016, this is the largest trade and consumer show in the Netherlands, was mainly motivated by the fact that St. Martin did not have a presence in the Dutch European market during the past 2 to 3 years. The reason is that we have a TUI flight that has a twice weekly flight from Holland that started in November 2014. And this flight brings 300 passengers to the island. And my strategy is to strengthen the market that we already have and diversify and not rely solely on the US market. As I already have informed the press, St. Martin had a combined booth with Seba and Stacia. And this strategy was well received by the visitors, and the results has been judged as being very successful. The future plans are, as soon as the 2016 budget has been approved, to sign a contract with the marketing firm that was selected for the marketing of the European and Benelux markets, work with the SHTA on having hotel rates reduced so that they become more competitive with the rates that are offered in Curacao and Aruba. One of the remarks that we received is that the island is very expensive and the hotel rates are very high. So therefore, I will have to sit with the SHTA and the hotel industry to see how we can bring down the rates to attract more visitors to the island. I will also see greater penetration of the German market and solicit the German low-cost carrier Condor and Eurowings to fly to destinations in Martin. These two airlines had contacted me, so I still have to sit with them and discuss how best we can arrange their coming to St. Martin, as well as the situation that we have with the TUI from Europe. And also a strategy that we are going to do is to team up with the harbor, because they were there with their own booth, and continue to team up with Seba Stacia and the neighboring island so we can better market this destination.
It's been said that behind every door, possibility awaits. How much possibility depends on which door you open first. Every day, we help our customers discover the possibilities in their lives. It all starts with a conversation. Scotiabank. Discover what's possible.
In my opinion, everything is perfect and you would be great for the job. But I see here that there's a 2-year gap in your resume. What did you do?
I was hospitalized for mental illness.
Oh, mental illness?
I've undergone treatment and I have a wonderful family that supports me.
Well, that is good news.
No, it's fine. I'm recovered.
We'll contact you, okay?
For a better understanding of mental health and what you can do to stop mental health stigma, please go to the Mental Health Foundation's website at www.mhf-sxm.com.
Our progress with the St. Martin Medical Center. We have issued a terms of reference to engineering companies to develop a bidding package for a turnkey hospital development. So we've made sure to include local engineering firms. So the companies that we have approached are Levense, Haskoning DHV, and Arcadis, and ICE. So we've made sure that we're engaging local engineering firms, and most of them are partnering with a larger firm that specializes in hospital construction. So we expect that their bids will be completed by the 19th of February, so that's coming up very quickly. And the idea is that they will develop the bidding package for what the hospital construction will be, and then we will try and select. We're already in the process of reaching out to potential turnkey hospital developers, and we will be looking at a design, build, and maintain proposal. And we believe that this makes sense because it makes sure that we have a fixed price, and I think that this will help to eliminate any cost overruns. And by, for example, including maintenance in the package, what it means is that whoever the developer is, that they have an incentive to make sure that the construction quality is good, because if the quality of the constructions are poor, it will come back in increased maintenance costs for them later. So it's in their best interest to make sure that the quality of the construction is correct.